Well, hello, Christmas fans. I'm Uncivil Law. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to all of you on this delightful day in the end of December. I hope all of you had a wonderful day with friends and family, loved ones, and got to spread some Christmas cheer, had some good Christmas food, and got to watch the best holiday movie of all time, Die Hard. Yes, it is Christmas Day, the bestest of all the days. And we are here to wrap up with some Christmas stories. And, of course, some Christmas singing from yours truly. Because, hey, what would holidays be without a little bit of holiday music? So some standards and Christmas carols. So I'd like to get started with a little bit of Silver Bells. City sidewalks, busy sidewalks, dressed in holiday style. In the air, there's the feeling of Christmas. Children laughing, people passing, meeting smile after smile. And on every street corner, you'll hear silver bells, silver bells. It's Christmas time in the city. Ring-a-ling, hear them sing. Soon it will be Christmas Day. Merry Christmas to all my uncivilians out there. A Merry Christmas to each and every one of you. And we will be starting off this Christmas stream with the state of Ohio versus Santa Claus. Yes, the state of Ohio has some issues with Santa Claus, and we are going to be covering that today as I finish off this glass of unoaked Chardonnay from yesterday, and I've got some nice new wine here as well when I finish that one off. All right, let's do it. The state of Ohio, boo, versus Santa Claus, yay! Decided July the 1st of 2002. The defendant, Santa Claus, stands charged with first-degree misdemeanor violation of law in that he did, on the 20th day of December, what a day to harass Santa Claus, display or possess an identification card knowing the same to be fictitious. On the day in question, Santa was operating a motor vehicle that was involved in a minor fender bender. Following the accident, for which Santa paid cash money on the spot to an individual whose car he had hit, Santa displayed his Ohio identification card to the Warren, that would be like the county, patrolman Eric Merkel, who does not have the spirit of Christmas. It is well settled that an individual is prohibited from possessing both an Ohio driver's license and an Ohio identification card at the same time. Santa Claus is an Ohio licensed driver who does not have an Ohio identification card. Santa is not an Ohio licensed driver who does have an Ohio license card. Because Santa is a licensed Ohio driver, the state charged him with displaying a fictitious identification card. See copy A is the identification card. Santa's identification card expires on December the 25th of 2023. A hell of a day to get a renewal on your identification card, Santa, Lord. But okay. Exhibit A contains a box where the applicant, Santa, checks the box that he does not possess a current driver's license. 5555 from Far Out Aliens, who says, this super chat is paid for from my Hex.com Mad Games. Thanks for the Rittenhouse trial streams. Would love to have a glass of bourbon with you one day. Merry Christmas and happy holidays, everyone. Well, thank you very much. I don't know what a Hex.com is, but I do appreciate your 55 of super chat contributions. Merry Christmas to you. On April the 22nd of 2002, a hearing was held pursuant to Santa's motion to dismiss and the state's response. No witnesses testified, but Santa produced 8 documents in support of his argument that were marked and admitted without objection. Due to the nature of the charge and the facts and circumstances at issue, the court finds that the exhibits in question are quite relevant to the issues at hand. Exhibit A is a certificate of birth for one Santa Claus, born at the North Pole on December the 25th in the year 383 AD, to Mrs. Claus and Holly Noel, with Dr. Snowflake attending. Exhibit B contains copies of Ohio identification cards with photos of Santas for the years 1996 and 1997, issued to Santa Claus by the state of Ohio, indicating residence at 1 Noel Drive, North Pole, Ohio, 44481, as well as a AAA membership card for the year of 1995. So we know that Santa's sleigh is protected from breakdown by the American Automobile Association. What a nice endorsement for AAA, man. Exhibit C contains copies of Ohio identification cards with photos of Santa from the years 1985 to 1990 and 1988 to 1992, issued to Santa Claus by the state of Ohio, indicating residence at 1 Noel Drive, North Pole, USA, as well as a copy of certificate of title issued to Santa Claus on December the 17th, 1987 by the state of Ohio for one 1965 Volkswagen two-door sedan. So apparently Santa Claus, on his off time, drives a Volkswagen sedan. The choice of Santas everywhere. 1965. What is that? Like a Beetle, maybe? Exhibit D contains copies of Ohio identification cards with photos of Santa from 1982 to 1986 and 1985 to 1988, issued to Santa Claus by the state of Ohio, indicating residence at 1 Noel Drive, North Pole, United States, as well as a copy of a blank check, number 117, on the account of Santa Claus, and Mrs. Santa Claus, number 115, with the Second National Bank of Warren. Exhibit E is an actual vehicle registration issued to Santa Claus for $60.15 on October the 31st of 92 by the state of Ohio for a 1965 Volkswagen mentioned in Exhibit C. It's registered, people. Exhibit F is an actual vehicle registration issued to Santa Claus for $56.75 on December the 11th of 1989 by the state of Ohio for the 1965 Volkswagen mentioned above. Exhibit G is an actual vehicle registration expiration notice for the registration in Exhibit F mailed to Santa Claus by the state of Ohio for 1965 Volkswagen mentioned above. Exhibit H is an actual vehicle registration issued to Santa Claus for $58.15 on December the 20th of 2001 by the state of Ohio for the Volkswagen mentioned above. So Santa, it turns out, is a law-abiding resident of Ohio. Maybe that's where he does his snowboard, his snowbird thing. You know, during the off months, he goes to the more tropical climate of Ohio. I mean, you know, why not? Apparently, Santa Claus likes the Ohio. And Ohio likes you back, Santa Claus. But not this mean traffic guy who wants to write you up for having false identification papers. In essence, this case reveals a situation where an individual is going about by more than one name. While Kris Kringle, Santa Claus, is known by many names, this is true. It has long been established in Ohio that a person may change his or her name by petitioning the probate court, or by the simple expedient of adopting and using the new name. Both procedures are equally valid in the eyes of the law. A person may change his name at any time, or even use several different names, so long as he does not do so for a fraudulent purpose. There can be no doubt, based on the aforesaid exhibits, that Santa and the Bureau of Motor Vehicles have a solid and ongoing relationship for 20 years. Santa has applied for and been issued numerous state identification cards, certificates of title, and applications for vehicle registration. The Ohio Supreme Court's decision in State v. Hashmail in Ohio is therefore dispositive. In Hashmail, the Supreme Court interpreted former General Code, which forbade the use in application for a motor vehicle certificate of a false or fictitious name. The court held that the statutory words, use a false or fictitious name, necessarily refer to the use of a name for a fraudulent purpose. So it is not, in the great state of Ohio, a false or fraudulent name if you are not doing so for a fraudulent purpose. You, in the state of Ohio, you can literally call yourself anything you want, and you can change your mind. And you can call yourself multiple different things at the same time. The state of Ohio does not care. How interesting. In this case, there's no evidence that Santa adopted his name for the purpose of avoiding any just debt or payment of taxes. To the contrary, Santa routinely pays, and Ohio accepted, taxes and registration fees under the name of Santa for many years. Consequently, Santa's use of his name is in no sense viewed as fraudulent. The court understands the state's position in this matter. In light of tragedies of September 11th, because of course, why not, the citizens of Ohio should be most appreciative of the type ship under which the Ohio Bureau of Motor Vehicles operates. Oh yes, I feel comforted knowing that the Ohio Bureau of Motor Vehicles is on the case in response to terrorism. I feel very assured. The state's BMV requires stringent forms of identification before it issues any form of its own official identification. Without such strict efforts on the BMV's part, it would be much easier for would-be terrorists or criminals to obtain much sought-after fraudulent, italicized, fraudulent identification that could more easily enable them to act out ghastly plans of skullduggery. Great phrasing. As well, this court is continuously made aware of the excellent efforts of the Warren Police Department and enforcing traffic and criminal laws and ordinance of the state and city. They are just eating this case up for days, man. Yeah. In short, this court's dilemma is whether Santa act of displaying this identification under these circumstances and with this history violated the law. To wit, was his identification card fictitious? Webster's 7th New Collegiate Dictionary defines fictitious. Its analysis of the word includes synonyms with fabulous, legendary, mythical, and apocryphal. I mean, okay. Fabulous stresses a marvelous or incredible character of something without distinctly implying impossibility or actual non-existence. Legendary suggests elaboration of invented details and distortion of historical facts produced by popular tradition. Mythical implies a purely fanciful explanation of facts or creation of beings and events out of the imagination. Apocryphal implies unknown or dubious source of origin for an account circulated as true or genuine. Fictitious implies fabrication and suggests artificially or contrivance more than deliberate falsification or deception. Had Santa been charged with fabulous, legendary, mythical, or apocryphal, he might well indeed be guilty, facing up 180 days in jail and a $1,000 fine. However, to sustain the burden of going forward, the state must make a showing that Santa knowingly displayed an identification card that was fictitious. Then this the state has not done. The fact that Santa has an ongoing relationship for 20 years with the BMV is not indicative of artificiality or contrivance, for in fact, under the publicly held records of the Ohio Bureau of Motor Vehicles, Santa has been a real person since as early as 1982. By way of analogy, this course in Frente stated the following. Fictitious names means a name used in business or trade that is fictitious, and the user is not registered or is not entitled to use as a trade name. In the case at bar, Santa has been a registered name with the Bureau of Motor Vehicles since 1982. The court finds that Santa's act of displaying his Ohio identification card to the officer in no way can be construed a violation of law. The court grants Santa's motion. The case is dismissed. It is hereby ordered. Santa wins, baby. Santa wins. It's a miracle on 42nd Street, or in this case, it's a miracle in Warren, Ohio. Santa Claus exists, and he exists in the field of this person. Outstanding. Let's take a look at Santa Claus's official documents. You know, here is Santa's official identification card issued by the great state of Ohio. I would like to take note here that this means he showed up in a Bureau of Motor Vehicles in this outfit, and the Bureau of Motor Vehicles let him take an official identification photo wearing this getup. Someone at the BMV actually has a sense of humor. I didn't know that was possible. Issued in the name of Bob Taft, then governor, this is Santa Claus from 1 Noel Drive in the great place of Warren, Ohio, who has a birth date of December the 25th of 1900. I guess that was as early as the computers would allow for. It doesn't allow for any earlier dates than that. So December the 25th of 1900. You know, he's not looking too bad for a man of, at this time, 2002, 102 years old. Not looking too shabby, man. Here is the corner of, here's North Pell, Ohio, with Noel Drive. So there is such a place in Ohio. How fun. And he even signed the card, Santa Claus. How fun. How very, very fun for all this. You know, this is a great story, man. Ohio wins. Ohio wins in the court, in the municipal court. This is a trial court decision, but the state chose not to appeal. So, you know. This is truly wonderful. Yeah. Very, very fun. Let's sing some more Christmas songs. Let's sing Christmas songs together. Let's look up some Christmas songs. What can we sing together? Do they know it's Christmas time at all? Yeah. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Do, 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 do. We can look up Toxic. Oh, this is great. Through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh, o'er the fields we go, laughing all the way. Bells on bobtail ring, making spirits bright. What fun it is to ride and sing a sleighing song tonight. Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Yeah. A day or two ago, I thought I'd take a ride, and soon Miss Fanny Bright was seated by my side. The horse was lean and lank, misfortune seemed his lot. He got into a drifted bank, and then we got upshot. Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Yes, my friends, it is here, Uncivil Law. We will be here with your holiday-themed news song all night long. All night long. Now, we have one other case. The one from Australia, I think I'm going to skip, but we have one other case that looks good because it's another case about a Grinch. You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. And in this case, the Grinch is the city of Plantation, Florida, who doesn't like someone's holiday festival themed stuff. Now, first thing I think we need to do for everyone's sanity is we need to find a copy of this guy's decorations. So let me see if I can find it so we can just see what's going on. So this is Mark Hyatt. Let me see. Hold on. Mark Hyatt, Florida. Christmas. Oh yeah. Oh, he died in 2000. That's very sad. But we can go back in time and we can look at some of his old stuff, right? We can enjoy what we used to have. And that will be fun. So let me just change the inputs real fast here. Show us some Christmas festivals things. Let's show us the Christmas thing. Oh, there we go. Here we go. Take a look at this. Oh yeah. Oh, look at that, man. You see this stuff, man? He's got a Ferris wheel. He's got lights. He's got reindeer. He's got all of his house decked out. He's got reindeer on top. He's got reindeer on the thing. He's got fences, man. He's got all kinds of shit. You look at all this stuff, he's got a damn Ferris wheel on his thing. It's Christmassy. City has problems with this, man. It's no good. Look at this. It's Christmassy. Look at this. It's bright. It's nice. It's blinking. Doesn't it look festive? It's got a hippo that's blinking for some reason. Got a star with like laser effects or something. Christmas tree. Look at that Ferris wheel, man. I want to get on that thing. Awesome. And he was a councilman. He was a councilman and his own city hated him. His own city hated him for the Christmas, man. That's just rough. That's just rough. He was a city councilman, and he died, unfortunately, at the age of 56 last year. So that is very disappointing. But he didn't die before winning a lawsuit against his own city on which he was a city council member. So we're going to read his legacy, which is telling them to hit it, to stuff it. So this is the final judgment in the case of the city of Plantain versus Mark Hyatt and Catherine Hyatt, his wife. They don't like Mr. or Mrs. Claus, man. It's racism. I tell you what. This case came before the court for a non-jury trial on September the 27th, 28th, 29th, and 30th of 2016. The court, having heard testimony and carefully observed those who have testified, have evaluated their candor and scrutinized their demeanor, resolved the conflict in the testimony, if any, considered all exhibits placed in evidence, having heard the arguments of counsels, having reviewed the applicable law, and having otherwise duly advised in the premises, makes the following findings of fact, conclusion of law, and renders the following final judgment. This case rises out of the city of Plantation's complaint for abatement of nuisance. They say it's a nuisance. A nuisance, a blot on the city, man. Specifically, the plaintiff alleges a significant interest in protecting welfare and safety of people who travel along Old Hiatus Road and Northwest 14th Street in Plantation. At issue is a holiday display known as the Hyatt Extreme Christmas, organized and executed by defendants Mark and Christine Hyatt and a team of volunteers. This event is held at the Hyatt's residence. On February the 28th of 2014, plaintiff filed its one-count complaint for abatement of nuisance and injunctive relief, seeking to limit the nature, size, and promotion of the event. Specifically, the city claims the event is incompatible with a limited access residential neighborhood. Plaintiff seeks judgment from this court ordering the Hyatts to refrain from promoting, erecting, and operating a holiday display at their residence of a nature extravagance or size of which is calculated to, likely to, or does attract large numbers of the public, including pedestrians, motor vehicles, or buses. Man, they are just not about the Christmas cheer over here in Plantation. The following facts are undisputed and set forth in the parties' joint pretrial stipulation. Since 2006, the defendants have maintained and owned a residence within the municipal boundaries of the city. The residence itself sits on Northwest 14th Street, along with 7 other residences. Northwest 14th Street has a cul-de-sac and is situated off of Old Hiatus Road between Sunrise Boulevard and Broward Boulevard. The only means of ingress and egress to and from the residence and the 7 other properties is via Old Hiatus Road. From Sunrise Boulevard to Broward Boulevard, Old Hiatus Road is a 2-lane thoroughfare, which has a drainage canal on the east side of the road and a shoulder on the west side that adjoins parcels of real property except where interrupted by roads connecting to Old Hiatus Road. There are no parking signs along the east side of the length of Old Hiatus Road from Broward Boulevard to Sunrise Boulevard, which had been placed prior to Thanksgiving 2013. Since they have lived in Plantation, the Hyatts have erected and operated a holiday display at their residential home for the holiday season. The event customarily operates from the day after Thanksgiving to December 28th or so, and generally from 6 p.m. to 8 to 10 p.m. Sunday through Thursday, and 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. Friday and Saturday. The gates to the display are closed on or about December the 23rd. The Hyatts have an internet website and Facebook page related to the event. The Hyatts are responsible for content posted on the internet website and Facebook page, other than comments specifically made by third parties. On Saturday, December the 14th of 2013 and Sunday, December the 15th, 2030, the city's police department, you're a mean one, Mr. Grinch, at its own expense, assigned 2 overtime police officers in an effort to monitor and control vehicular and pedestrian traffic along Old Hiatus Road and Northwest 14th Street. The police chief and police captain create a safe zone for pedestrian traffic by closing Old Hiatus Road between Northwest 12th Street and Northwest 15th Street to all non-resident vehicular traffic from approximately 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. from Sunday the 19th to December the 23rd. The city additionally implements the safe zone with different boundaries in 2014 and 2015. At issue for this court is to decide whether the event poses a public safety threat to the people who travel along Old Hiatus Road and Northwest 14th Street while the display is operational, thus making it a nuisance. Where the nature, side, or extravagance of the event is incompatible with Hyatt's limited access residential neighborhood. Where this court should give deference to the decision of the city of the police that the event causes a threat to the public safety. So the chief of police, apparently, has a problem with the Christmas cheer. And whether the Hyatts may be restricted by injunction from promoting, erecting, or operating a holiday display at their residence of a nature, size, or extravagance as calculated to, likely to, or does attract large number of public motor vehicles or buses. The Florida Constitution gives home rule powers to municipal governments pursuant to law. Okay? The Florida statutes say some other things. Prior to 1973, Florida law expressly allowed a city or town council to prevent or abate nuisances. In 1973, the Florida legislature repealed this and enacted a different chapter. The Florida legislature recognized that municipal home rule power is rooted in the Florida Constitution and thus not provided for by statute. So the Florida Constitution apparently gives powers to cities, which is something the Florida Constitution can do or not. It's up to Florida. Therefore, the court determined the cities possess authority to prevent or abate a nuisance if it exists. Under Florida law, the sole question in an action seeking injunctive relief to abate a nuisance is whether or not the use made of the property by one complained against is reasonable under the circumstances. This question also includes determination of whether the annoyance and disturbance complained of have resulted in injury to legal rights of persons complaining. Mere disturbance and annoyance as such do not themselves give rise to an invasion of a legal right. Thus, a residential property owner has a duty not to unreasonably interfere with other people's use and enjoyment of their property. An owner and occupant of a property must use it in a way that will not be a nuisance to other owners and occupants in the same community. Anything which annoys or disturbs one in free use, possession, or enjoyment of his property, or which renders its ordinary use or occupation physically uncomfortable, may become a nuisance and be restrained. Although there is no exact rule or formula for asserting when something rises to the level of a nuisance, relief will be granted where plaintiffs show they are substantially unreasonably disturbed, notwithstanding proof that others living in the vicinity are not annoyed. The city bears the burden of preponderance by the preponderance of evidence standard. I think it's time for yet another Christmas song, don't you? Oh, the weather outside is frightful, but the fire is so delightful. And since we've no place to go, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. It doesn't show signs of stopping, and I brought some corn for popping. The lights are turned way down low. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. When we finally kiss goodnight, how I hate going out in the storm. But if you really hold me tight, all the way home I'll be warm. The fire is slowly dying, and my dear, we're still goodbying. But as long as you love me so, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. The testimony and evidence reveals that the event consists of over 200,000 lights, a 20-foot Ferris wheel, a 30-foot lighted tree, a live reindeer horse, parades, snow, and additional decor. The approximately 2-mile stretch of Old Hiatus Road from West Boulevard to West Sunrise Boulevard is dimly lit and has no traffic control devices, including no stop signs, no stoplights, or pedestrian crossways. Prior to 2013, some of Hyatt's neighbors permitted parking on their property, which eliminated the need for vehicles to park along the swale. In 2012, the Hyatts received a letter from the mayor of the city specifically allowing the use of vacant property as long as permission was received from the landowner. In November of 2013, the city's position changed and the Hyatts were no longer able to use the vacant property to park vehicles because the vacant lots were not zoned in a category designed for parking lots. Nonetheless, notwithstanding the city's change of position, those lenders have not revoked their offer to the Hyatts to allow parking on their vacant lots. Further, in an effort to combat parking along the grassy swale abutting the canal, the city has installed numerous no parking signs. Despite the installation of these signs, vehicles continue to park along Old Hiatus Road, putting up all those mean no parking signs. Yeah. This court observes that in the instant action, it does not involve an allegation the Hyatts are in violation of a city ordinance or zoning code, does not involve the allegation the Hyatts are in violation of state or federal law, nor is an action brought by neighbors seeking to recover damages. So the neighbors apparently don't care. Rather, as asserted in the complaint, besides the severe traffic issues, other issues directly caused by the oversized pedestrian and vehicle congestion are the severe impairment of the ability of neighboring homeowners to gain access to and from their property, but the neighbors don't seem to care. Excessive noise, which is audible from inside the neighboring residence. Again, the neighbors don't seem to care. The accumulation of litter and trash on the streets and private property, and delayed response in time for emergency services. The court finds the city has failed to prove its case by preponderance of evidence. Yeah, keep those lights on, you Santa stealing Grinches. First, the court finds there was no testimony or evidence produced that there was any neighbor complaints as to excessive noise. There was testimony that a few neighbors did not like the display, but that the majority of neighbors enjoy the lights. Notably, there was no evidence presented that any citations or warnings of excessive noise had been issued in conjunction with the event. Second, despite generalized statements containing letters sent to the Hyatts regarding accumulation of trash, there was no evidence there was actual accumulation. So no evidence that this actually happened. Further, there was testimony that the Hyatts and volunteers for the event regularly monitor for litter, and dispose of it accordingly. Importantly, there's no evidence of citations or warnings of littering having been issued. There was no admitted evidence that the response times of emergency services were or would be delayed. The testimony elicited regarding the issue was speculative and not grounded in fact. Fourth, the court determines that the severe traffic issues are being exacerbated by the city and the city's police department and safety zones, not the Hyatts. A review of videotape evidence, depicting the city's safety concerns clearly shows an increase in disorderly pedestrian and vehicular traffic as a result of the safety zone. So, like many times, the city and the government are actually making it worse. As stated in the complaint, the city has sought Hyatt's cooperation in conforming the nature and size of the event to a comparable and appropriately sized display for a residential neighborhood. However, absent an applicable provision in the city zoning code, municipal ordinance, or Florida statute enumerating what an appropriate size would be, such judicial determinations would be arbitrary. Simply, there's no evidence that the Hyatts utilized their property in such a way that results in any injury to the legal right of the city or its residents. This is some top-notch legal stuff here. On the first day of Christmas, my true love sent to me a partridge in a pear tree. On the second day of Christmas, my true love sent to me 2 turtle doves and a partridge in a pear tree. On the third day of Christmas, my true love sent to me 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree. On the fourth day of Christmas, my true love sent to me 4 calling birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree. On the fifth day of Christmas, my true love sent to me 5 golden rings, 4 calling birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree. On the sixth day of Christmas, my true love sent to me 6 geese a-laying, 5 golden rings, 4 calling birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree. On the seventh day of Christmas, my true love sent to me 7 swans a-swimming, 6 geese a-laying, 5 golden rings, 4 calling birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree. On the 8th day of Christmas, my true love sent to me 8 maids a-milking, 7 swans a-swimming, 6 geese a-laying, 5 golden rings, 4 calling birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree. On the 9th day of Christmas, my true love sent to me 9 ladies dancing, 8 maids a-milking, 7 swans a-swimming, 6 geese a-laying, 5 golden rings, 4 calling birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree. On the 10th day of Christmas, my true love sent to me 10 lords a-leaping, 9 ladies dancing, 8 maids a-milking, 7 swans a-swimming, 6 geese a-laying, 5 golden rings, 4 calling birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree. On the 11th day of Christmas, my true love sent to me 11 pipers piping, 10 lords are leaping, 9 ladies dancing, 8 maids are milking, 7 swans are swimming, 6 geese are laying, 5 golden rings, 4 calling birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree. On the 12th day of Christmas, my true love sent to me 12 drummers drumming, 11 pipers piping, 10 lords a leaping, 9 ladies dancing, 8 maids a milking, 7 swans a swimming, 6 geese a laying, 5 golden rings, 4 calling birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree. Further, the use of the property is one that's reasonable under the circumstances. This final judgment should not be construed such that the city is not allowed to maintain the roadways or enforce zoning and ordinances in a manner it deems appropriate. Indeed, the city is free to do under its municipal powers. Nor should this final judgment be construed such that the Hyatts are permitted to do whatever they desire with respect to their holiday display. The city must ensure that the residents and visitors comply with its zoning codes and municipal ordinances and the laws of the state of Florida. However, the court declines to exercise its power where such conduct is not regulated, and there's no testimony or evidence to support the claims for abatement of nuisance. Hereby is ordered and adjudicated that final judgment is entered in favor of the defendants, Mark Hyatt and Catherine Hyatt, against the plaintiff, who shall take nothing from this action and go hence without delay. Is ordered that the court retains jurisdiction to award attorney's fees and costs, and order this 27th day of October in the great year of 2016. He's so off key, they say. It's been a long time since I've been in choir. It's been a long time since I've been in choir, man. But you know, I try. I try. So, man, sometimes when I stream, I seem to like suddenly get this this mucus issue or something. Yeah. You're welcome, ma'am. Yeah. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Let your heart be light. From now on, our troubles will be out of sight. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Make the Yuletide gay. From now on, our troubles will be miles away. Here we are, as in olden days, happy golden days of yore. Faithful friends who are dear to us, gather near to us once more. Through the years, we've always been together, if the fates allow. Hang a shining star upon the highest bough, and have yourself a merry little Christmas No. Merry Christmas to everybody out there in Christmas land. Now, Stephanie has prepared for us some excerpts from the show Judge Rinder. Judge Rinder is the UK version of Judge Judy, sort of. And he has a show. And I'd like to say thanks to Stephanie because she's had to work somewhat hard behind the scenes to circumvent the mean copyright restrictions from the show, because they don't want us to have a nice little react series where we react to the stupid. So she has had to work behind the scenes very hard to make sure that, this will work. So props to Stephanie for doing all that. I think we will do a little bit of Judge Rinder, and we will respond to some of the UK's stupidest Judge Judy-esque cases. So do we know what happened to the turtle? We do not know what happened to the turtle. We do not know what happened to the turtle in the washing machine. We do not know. Stephanie doesn't like my singing. Well, no more singing. I thought it was fun. Well, I don't know. It's okay. We'll just do the thing instead, and then we'll call it a stream, I guess. Let's see. Now I have to go back in my back end and get this link for this thing. Put it into Windows. So let me do that real quick. Unfortunately, it was demonetized again. Should we play it anyway? Should we give it a try? It was demonetized again, Stephanie. Should we give it a try anyway? Maybe if we played at 1.5, it won't be so bad. Maybe if we played at 1.5, the bot won't catch us. Let's give it a shot. All right, so we're going to play this at 1.5 because it's the only way that we're going to get this to work, I think. No, it's not just demonetized. It's ineligible. It's red. It's red. So it might take the stream down. Yeah, it's worse than that. But we'll give it a shot. There's British pompous ass Sky. Last Christmas, gave you my heart. Very next day, you gave it away. This year, save me from tears. I'll give it to someone special. Last Christmas, gave you my heart. Very next day, you gave it away. This year, save us from tears. I'll give it to someone special. All right, let's see what we got here. All right, so we're going to play this at 1.5 in the hopes that will somehow discourage the bot from ruining everyone's Christmas. See how that works out, okay? So let's respond to some Judge Rinder Britishness and see what happens to the stream.
So, Judge, I walked in and I realised half my kitchen flooring, the vinyl linoleum, had been pulled from one section of the door right all the way over to near enough the kitchen table.
Now,
Yes.
tell me where all the dogs were. Who was in that kitchen?
Stitch was in the kitchen.
So it could only have been one culprit. How bad was it? What are we talking?
Disastrous.
You were immediately, and you're very frank about this, you were immediately cross about what took place. So you would have hoped that Megan would have responded, bearing in mind it's her dog,
Yes.
in an emotionally appropriate way, given the horror which you saw when you came in, correct?
Yes, Judge.
Is that right? Did she behave in an emotionally appropriate way?
She did not, Judge.
What did Megan do when she saw what took place?
She laughed, Judge.
How much did she laugh?
A lot, for a while.
Well, I think it's probably better if we get the culprit. Is Stitch here?
Yes, he is,
How
Judge.
splendid. Could we go and get Stitch?
Yes.
Okay, Judge.
Because Stitch really has the answer to the question, seems to
Yeah.
Ooh, Stitch is a pewter
Oh,
dog.
how lovely. What a lovely camp collar.
Come on, this way. Hello.
Megan, may I meet Stitch? Would that be all right?
Of course.
I can see he's wearing a rainbow collar,
Yeah.
which is lovely. He's a real ally.
Come on in.
Can I pick him up? Is
Of
that
course
all
you
right?
can, yeah.
Oh, hello, darling.
That's the first.
I feel like I've died mocha every one of the dates I've ever had. All right, let's try again.
Come on, shall we try that again? Come on. Come on, sit. This way, this way.
I'm very nice. Come back.
Try again.
Let's try. Come on.
Oh. It's okay. What's wrong with the dog?
Do you have any bacon in the pocket?
No.
Go on, go on. Good
Go see
boy.
the judge. Where you going? Hello.
No, you need to bring him back. Oh, my goodness.
Go on there.
Now, I'm afraid, I need you, if possible, to hold Stitch. Is that all right, please, Anne-Marie?
Of course, Dad.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You came in, and we were just about to set the scene. There he is. You come in, he's on his own. The lino floor has been eaten. I walk in, and what was it that you said?
I said, I swore, Judge.
And Megan's response was what?
All she could do was laugh.
Now, let's have a look at some of the damage, shall we? You provided photos, correct?
I have, Judge.
Not exactly pleasant, to say the very least. We can laugh about it, but here's the thing that I'm perfectly satisfied about, Anne-Marie. You were extremely, and I want to be clear as well, very reasonably cross about it. How long did it take you to save up to get that lino flooring?
It probably took me about 6 months after Christmas, maybe more.
Understood. At some point, from what I can gather, there was a discussion where, Megan, Mum certainly came to you and more than suggested that you were at least partially financially liable for what took place, correct?
That's correct.
What did she say in the course of that discussion?
She made me aware that I was the one having to pay for the flooring and to get it fitted, Judge.
Well, did you think that that was reasonable?
Well, in a way, Judge, I feel like no one apart from Stitch was really to blame for the flooring. I wasn't the one that ripped it up, Judge.
Why do you believe it is her fault?
It's her dog at the end of the day, not my dogs, that were left in the room.
Understood. Anne-Marie, Megan. Anne-Marie, you're suing your daughter for damage caused by her dog. You were on notice of the type of damage that these dogs can do.
Oh.
Yes, I was only referring to you. Because you're an excellent owner, you're on notice of the type of damage that these dogs can cause. What's more, because of the quality of the relationship you have with one another, it means, as a matter of law, you cannot prove that your daughter was negligent. Neither can you prove that the dog did something unexpected. For those two reasons, you're unable to bring a claim against Megan. And so for that reason, I dismiss your case. Stitch, goodbye.
There you go, cheeky boy. Okay, it's okay.
Well, I've heard those submissions. You are. Last word for you, the two of you, were...
Okay, so yeah, fairly simple issue, right? Daughter owns dog. Dog is in room. Dog rips up flooring. Mom is sad, and judge says you're aware of the risk. Basically, assumption of risk. You are aware of this kind of dog and what they could do. You can't prove any particular negligence from the owner. Therefore, you lose. So the lesson here is don't let your daughter bring home a dog, or don't let it in the house, because if you do, you might be responsible. You might have to pay for the cost of the floor. So, don't let your kids bring home a dog is the apparent rule here at the end of the day. All right. I mean, okay. That's apparently the thing we have. Okay. Let's listen to some more.
Were offered a job in your mobile, and it was near Blackpool, correct? So you needed somewhere cheap to stay. Yeah. So you looked online, and eventually you came up with the perfect hotel that had been advertised. Now, Bradley, this stage, your dad was in charge of marketing. And when he took over the hotel, first of all, it didn't have the type of success he wanted. True?
Maybe.
True?
Yes.
And so he thought, What a marvellous idea. In order to encourage more people to come and attend our establishment, we need to come up with a gimmick. What was Dad's gimmick?
We named it the Viagra Hotel.
And the reason he called it that was because there was an additional slogan. Do honour me with the slogan.
We will keep you up all night.
Yes, unless somebody gets one of the pills stuck in their throat, in which case they get a stiff neck. Now, as I understand it, it hasn't gone terribly well because the council have complained, correct?
They have indeed.
And as a result of their complaint, you've had to change the name. What's it called now?
It's called the Niagara Falls.
Is there a new slogan?
We'll keep you wet all night.
Now, Paul, you looked online and presumably you wanted a suitable hotel, correct?
We did, yes.
And being suitable, you wanted it to be clean and functional. What was it about a hotel called the Hotel Viagra that immediately occurred to you as being just perfect for you to stay with another gentleman?
Just catchy name and gimmick, innit? It was just for a laugh.
For a laugh?
Well, we thought.
You thought? Were you satisfied with what you first saw?
Not at all, no.
Well, this is a problem. And I'm serious for a second. When you registered your name, you did not give a real name. Why not?
For reasons like this, if it's a dodgy place, at least you've got a get-out clause quick.
Well, you don't have a get-out clause quick, sir. What you do is you give your real name. If it's below the standard of a satisfactory hotel, you leave. You say, I'm not paying, because it falls below a reasonable standard, and that's that. You're not entitled to give a false name and address. Why do you say that you are?
It's just something I've done for years. So.
Now, what I'd like you to do is describe what I'm going to call the customer journey as you went into the hotel.
I don't see how the false name is relevant to the issue. Maybe you're entitled to give a false name, maybe not. But the issue is the standard of a hotel, right? I'm paying for the hotel. I'm not getting the standard. My giving a false name and address is irrelevant. So it's irrelevant to the legal issue. It seems to me. So, okay, let's press on.
Yeah. On the front door, there's a sign that's on there, and it says, "Welcome victims."
Gentlemen, do excuse me. Oh dear. Having seen a welcome victims comment, is that still there, by the way?
That would be the only sign that's actually still on the hotel.
Yes. Why didn't you say, thank you very much, I don't really want to stay here anymore?
It was just getting late in the day, and it was a busy week, and everywhere else.
Have some...
Again, although it's a strange sign, it really isn't putting you on notice, right? No one would interpret the sign literally. No reasonable person would interpret the sign literally or as a disclaimer, right? So the idea would be, okay, the idea is assumption, right? Assumption of risk, assumption of, or acceptance, right? You're accepting the quality of this. But like no one would interpret hello victims literally, right? You would think it's kitschy, or that'd be a reasonable interpretation. You can't look at it as like a disclaimer. So if the judge is about to go disclaimer or some bullshit on top of the following with false name bullshit, I'm going to have to say Judge Rinder is maybe not the greatest judge ever. This sounds like some bullshit even under UK law, but let's press on.
Interested, some land in Scotland.
Not really, just bought a plot of land for fun.
Now, the reason I ask that is because I've got a very forensic eye. The type
Is that the end of it? Or did we miss it? Oh. That's the end of the segment.
Gentlemen, do excuse me. Oh dear. Having seen a welcome victims comment, is that still there, by the way?
That would be the only sign that's actually still on the hotel.
Yes. Why didn't you say, thank you very much, I don't really want to stay here anymore?
It was just getting late in the day, and it was a busy week, and everywhere else.
Have some interest, some land in Scotland.
All right, so we've moved on to a completely different case, so we will not get resolution in this case. But based on what I'm hearing, right, the giving a false name and false address is irrelevant. The sign on the door is not a sufficient disclaimer. The name of the hotel is not a sufficient disclaimer. If it falls below, certain minimums, if that's the issue, then those sound like they're irrelevant. Like, it doesn't matter. Like a rose by any other name, right? Call it, you could call it the best hotel ever, literally, and it would still be puffing. So it's not going to change the legal interpretation. It's not going to be enough to swing the analysis. So, I don't know. Judge Rinder is asking questions that don't sound relevant to my mind.
Not really, just bought a plot of land for fun.
Now, the reason I ask that is because I've got a very forensic eye for the type of cases that I used to do. And having considered the accounts that you've provided me with, I asked my clerk to go and ask you a question, because at the top of it, it describes you, and I don't want incorrectly to describe you. So am I right that, in fact, you are Lady Jackie?
No.
Why does your bank account describe you as Lady Jackie?
When I got a new bank account, they asked me if I wanted to, if I had any titles.
Yes.
And I just joked that I bought some land in Scotland and a title came with it.
What made you believe, you might be right, by the way, that this land conferred upon you a title?
Oh, I don't know, to be honest.
Well, somebody
it
must
came
have
with a
told-
document saying you had the right to call yourself Laird and Lady.
In other words,
so it's just a joke, really.
Not a joke. You bought it. What's the joke about it? I tell you,
Because it was only a foot square, the land.
Do I have Kieran here?
Yes, Judge.
And is it Oren?
Yes, Judge.
You're in court today, Kieran, because of something Oren did on Christmas Day, correct?
Yes, Judge.
On Christmas Day, you were very excited about a gift. What gift were you excited about, Kieran?
An electric drum set.
An electric drum set. And why do you think your parents got you an electric drum set as opposed to a real one?
Because the electric one isn't so loud.
Exactly so. Oren, can he play the drums?
To be honest with you, no, he can't.
Did you consider yourself to be the next big drummer?
It was the best drummer ever, Judge.
It's not the actual one, but that's the type of thing. Yes?
Yes, Judge.
It's very Pet Shop Boys. Wouldn't you agree with me?
Yes, Judge.
Do you know who the Pet Shop Boys are?
No, Judge.
There you are. Do you still play the drums?
No, Judge.
Well, and I know why you don't play the drums, because of what happened, correct, Kieran?
Yes, Judge.
And what did you discover, Kieran?
I discovered that my drum kit was very wet.
What did you believe the offending liquid was, Kieran?
Pee, Judge.
Excuse me? What do you mean?
Urine, Judge.
What evidence do you have that he's responsible for the offending pee?
Well, him with his trousers, like, kind of. But then again, like,
You saw him with his trousers down.
yes, Judge.
That's pretty good evidence.
Yes.
Would you agree?
Yes, Judge.
There's also a statement, and though he can't be here, it's from your dad.
I noticed the drum kit was wet. I assumed it was out of fruit juice. I put my finger in the fruit juice and I tasted it. And that's when I realised it wasn't fruit juice.
Oren, you wouldn't tell Porky Pies to Judge Rinder, would you?
No, Judge.
Did you pee on Kieran's drum kit?
Yes, but it was for a very good reason.
What was the extremely good reason that you decided... What was the official language you used, sir?
Scottish.
No, no.
Gosh, cute.
Oh, too much. What was your justification for urinating on the electric drum kit?
Well, before I done that, before I urinated on his drum kit, he broke the arm off my favourite wrestler, which was Jeff Hardy.
Did you break the arm off his wrestler on purpose?
No, Judge. He was up on the top rope and I slammed him down and his arm fell off.
No, Judge, he snapped it off. Like, just picked it up and then snapped it.
Did you see him do it?
Yes.
What came first, the pee or the broken arm? Did you break the arm in retaliation?
Yes, Judge.
Understood. Which case, I'm afraid there's a consequence. Now, Kieran, Oren. I had a different view of this case when it started. Kieran, you brought a case against Oren for damaging property that you owned, and you did in fact own it. Oren, in the course of this case, has admitted to a disgusting act, which is disgusting in Welsh, English and Scottish. He peed on your drum kit. Consequently, it was broken, and it's his legal responsibility up to a house, having cups of tea and doing gardening. Was gardening a hobby?
No.
Well, did you just enjoy arriving at her house and fiddling with her bluebells? Was there something especially striking about her bushes that you liked?
No, no.
What's the one on the left-hand side? Is that a new one?
No, that's the old one.
Well, why did you leave the old one there and not simply replace it with a round one like you wanted?
Right. If you can look, and without obviously insulting anyone's intelligence,
Oh,
if
thank you.
If you look on the left-hand side, it is an oblong shape. I've then got to unscrew that and take it out of the door frame. I then have to then make
You need to make whatever...
insert.
I can understand. Just assume for a second that you're not insulting my intelligence. The point is, if you were to take that out, that would leave marks.
It would.
The problem would have been solved if you'd bought a bunch of oblong ones. Perhaps I'm being unintelligent. Yes, I could have bought oblong ones.
I could have bought oblong
Did you
ones.
check with
But
it?
unfortunately, like I explained, and it's hard for you, obviously you'll understand this, where...
Sir, trust me.
Obviously, I'm talking to,
Just pause for a
obviously,
second.
I apologise, I'm talking to an expert what does this on a daily basis. Obviously, where, unlike yourself, you don't. So without sounding disrespectful.
Have you ever read a book called How to Win Friends and Influence a Judge?
Can I carry on?
Sir, just assume for argument's sake I'm following the conversation. I understand every single thing you've said.
Okay.
Do you know, the expression chutzpah? Ordinarily, I'd be very, very cross with your response, but I'm so shocked it's made me chuckle. How would you describe Countessa? Is she as royal, as regal, and as aristocratic as her name implies?
No, she's a
Wow! Well, goodness me. And you've known Michael for a while. What was it that the two of you clicked over, Michael? What was his best...
What? This is silly. This is silly show. Silly show. Silly funny show. Funny show. Funny show. Funny silly show. What's going on? All right, now where's my songs that I had up? Silver died until he appeared. Soul felt its worth. Did I lose my my page of Christmas songs? Oh no. I have to find them again. Oh, I accidentally closed the page of Christmas songs. That's very sad. Can't have that. Christmas time. Losing the page of Christmas songs. We will not be defeated. Let's see. All right, let's see what we got here. Let's see. Do "Oh Holy Night." It's a good one. Holy night, the stars are brightly shining. It is the night of our dear Savior's birth. Long lay the world in sin and error pining, till he appeared and the soul felt its worth. A thrill of hope, the weary world rejoices, for yonder breaks a new and glorious morn. Fall on your knees, oh, hear the angel voices, oh, night divine, oh, night when Christ was born, oh, night, oh, holy night, oh, night, oh, night divine. That may be the worst take of "Oh Holy Night" in the history of music. Woof. That's I don't know, man. That was a rough one. Yeah, that needs work. That needs work. Man, that was rough. Let's see what else we got. Oh, Christmas tree, you stand in splendid beauty. Oh, Christmas tree, you stand in splendid beauty. of branches green in summer's glow, and evergreen in winter's glow snow. Oh, Christmas tree, you stand in splendid beauty. That wasn't too bad, because they can hit the lower octave on that one. All right, what else should we do tonight? Should we just talk some Q&A? Should we just take some questions? Should we just chill for a while? Should we just hang? Yeah. Hats off to you for having the gonads to sing a cappella in front of an audience unrehearsed. No problem. Yeah. Hark, harrow bells, sweet silver bells. Let me see if they've got on that list. Hark, harrow bells. That's not bad. Now, this one I actually did sing choir a long time ago. This one I did sing choir, but there's no way I'm going to get this right today, right? We'll give it a shot anyway. Hark, harrow bells, sweet silver bells, all seem to say, throw cares away. Christmas is here, bring good and cheer to young and old, meek and the bold. Ding dong, that is the song, with footful ring, all caroling. One seems to hear words of good cheer from everywhere, filling the air. Oh, how they pound, raising the sound, o'er hill and dale, telling the tale. Gaily they ring while people sing songs of good cheer. Christmas is here. Merry, 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 merry Christmas. Merry, 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 merry Christmas. On all they send, all without end, to the full tone, to every ding dong, ding dong. Yeah, that's not too bad. I could use, it's been a long time since I sang that one in choir, but oof. $55.55 from Far Out Aliens. Ha ha, bravo on the singing. Merry Xmas. Well, thank you very, very much, sir. Your super chat is appreciated. Yes, ye merry gentlemen, let nothing you dismay. The voice our Savior was born upon this day, to save us all from Satan's power when we were gone astray. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy, comfort and joy. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy. Can't quite hit the low note on that one anymore. It's been a while. It's K-U-R-T. It's K-U-R-T. Yeah. With that song, yeah. Yeah. I used to sing baritone in choir. That one I just can't quite get the low note on right now because I'm unpracticed. How about Jingle Bells? That's not too bad. Jingle. Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh, or the field. Oh, I can do this in Latin. Laughing all the way, bells on bobtail ring, making spirits bright. Oh, what fun is to ride and sing a sleighing song tonight. Oh, tinny-ya, tintin-tintinabulum. Labi more glockius postmulum cutum. Tinny-ya, tintinabulum. Labi more glockius postmulum cutum. That's just right. Go it while you're young. No, those notes a night. Sing this sleighing song. It's about to obey. 240 for his speed. Engage him through an open sleigh, and you will take the lead. Oh, tinny-ya, tinabulum. Labi more glockius postmulum cutum. Tinny-ya, tinnintabulum. Labi more glockius postmulum cutum. That's good times. Did I study Latin? I did study Latin. As a matter of fact, yes. I remember that from 6th grade. Yeah. So that one's been a long time. What I ate for dinner? Fried chicken, man. I had some fried chicken. He's not a real judge. No, he's a Judge Judy judge. He's not a real judge. Yeah. Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. Last Christmas I gave you my heart. The very next day you gave it away. This year, to save me from tears, I'll give it to someone special. Once bitten and twice shy. I keep my distance, but you still catch my eye. Tell me, baby, do you recognize me? It's been a year, doesn't surprise me. Well, I think it's time for me to end the stream before I've had too much more wine. Yeah, lawyers study Latin and Greek, and doctors study Greek for the sole purpose of keeping the dumb people out of the club. There's probably some truth to that. Yeah. Yeah, Veni Vici Vici, I came, I saw, conquered. Yeah, definitely for sure. Yeah, for sure. Was the finger looking good? It was not KFC, but it was still pretty tasty, I have to say. All right. Well, thanks all for the super chats. I hope you enjoyed these Christmas stories. If you haven't subscribed, I'm not many bottles in. I'm about a quarter of a bottle in, maybe a third. I finished off yesterday's bottle. All the good things. I'll see you later, man. I hope all's way. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.